Good morning.
I've got to say, you're the fastest friend we've made on the show. We haven't even had the internet yet, or the interview yet, and I feel like we know you
That
very
commercial
well.
break was something else.
The most staggering pre-interview conversation we've ever had.
Well,
Listen.
do you want to dive in? Do you want to take a lap, or do you want me to start?
Dive in is an interesting choice of words.
Just explain in short what
Okay.
the conversation was.
We're talking medical issues here.
Okay.
Not my own.
Well, I'm sizing up his hands, and I'm saying if you're working in the ER, you've got big hands.
We're really going to talk about that? Yeah, okay. All right.
And then
And Kyle?
I have a family member who's a doctor who's worked in a trauma center and said that there are certain fascinating cases that come in where people have things lodged inside their body and need them removed, and maybe they did it themselves. Do you understand what I'm talking about, Larry?
This is because we just talked about that for 5 minutes.
And I know you understand, but I'm asking for the audience. Am I not crazy, right? This happens.
I mean, it does happen. And
Yes.
if you Google that, you can see a bunch of X-ray of different things.
Like
Yeah.
light bulbs.
Okay, enough.
Let's switch subject.
Let's get to the story.
I got a light bulb, and it's telling me to get to the interview.
Yes.
All right, so
Good idea.
Yeah, good idea. Now you're currently
Peter.
in med school.
I like this
and,
story.
Yes.
and you're
I
also
see you over
a
there.
starting guard in the NFL. Just plain and simple, how do you do it?
I mean, I think right now it's even a little bit easier than it was during my college degree. Because, I mean, back at McGill University, I was doing both, like, right at the same time. So I had to, like, be on the field and be in school at the same time. Now the good thing is that I got a little bit of flexibility from McGill and from the Chiefs, so I can do, like, 100% football while I'm in Kansas City. And then during the off-season, I can find a balance between training and studying. So that's great. I've been doing that for the past 3 years, and Coach Reed is just awesome. He's giving me a little bit of time extra so I can finish up my rotation. And I'm planning on graduating next May, so I mean, things are feeling.
You are awesome.
Incredible.
Amazing story.
Now, you grew up in Montreal, not exactly a football mecca by any means. So how did you get involved in football or even interested?
I mean, I was playing a little bit of hockey. I was touching to everything. I mean, I even played badminton for a while. And then I just realized I was too big. and I think football,
Look
for
at
me...
these hands, everybody.
Yeah, good.
Get that shot.
This has got to be, this is next level.
Whoa! That's ridiculous. That's the best.
Yeah, and I think I just like, for me, football was kind of the perfect balance between like physicality and intensity and the strategy behind it. And especially at the O-line position, you got to think a lot. And maybe that's more of my like medical background, but like preparing for a game, looking at stats, looking at different like film and just reviewing everything, that's something I'm passionate about. So that balance between like physicality and like more the strategic aspect of football make it like a perfect sport for me.
I'm fascinated by your story. So 2010, you're at McGill University, a very prestigious academic school up there in Montreal. Everything's going great, and then football comes into your life, but you didn't necessarily speak English as a first language, so you had to also learn that. Because in football, Andy Reid, as great a guy as he is, he's not going to start yelling French terms to you.
No, absolutely. And even like the English, McGill is an English university, so my first contact to English was at McGill in 2010, like you said. And when I got to Kansas City in 2014, I thought I was kind of bilingual, you know, and I realized I knew nothing about English because the only English I knew was like the medical English, like super proper. So I was not able to chit chat with people, and I think I'm getting better at it, but it was a shock at the beginning.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
sounds
Because I'm just coming back from Montreal for the past 2 months. I was doing French emergency medicine, so I had to like transition quickly this morning.
Wow. You had an ER rotation in French.
Yeah, so I was doing 2 months of ER in Montreal in French, and that's the cool thing about like Coach Reed is that he's letting me like pursuing my medical career on the side, and even though like OTA started like April 22nd, I had like an extra like 3 weeks in order to like wrapping up my exam and everything, and wrapping up my emergency rotation.
Real quickly, can we hear some French medical terms, just smoothly?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, vous avez un mot de tête. Quel genre de mot de tête? Est-ce que c'est unilatéral? Est-ce que c'est throbbing? Est-ce que quand vous penchez la tête, c'est plus difficile? Ouais. You're Canadian, right? So
Yeah.
right.
They're talking about the chest and opening up the X-ray.
I was just talking about the head, but
When you miss a block,
I told
and
Nate
Alex Smith is chewing you out for missing a block, or Andy Reid comes and chews you out, do you understand those English words that are coming out of there now?
yeah, I'm getting better at this.
Oh, you just act like you don't understand it. No.
Because those romance languages, they're great for swearing and screaming and showing emotion. Alex Smith know any French? Anybody else in the huddle know any French?
I mean, Mitch Morse is working on it, like a center. Like he's been to Montreal during the off season because I was doing a football camp over there, and slowly but surely he's picking up on a couple of things, and it's just really funny.
So if there's like somebody gets banged up a little bit, a minor injury, does anybody ever come up to you and say, "Man, what is this?"
Yeah.
I mean, my job
Before
in
the
Kansas
training?
City is to play football. I'm not there to be a doctor or anything, and I'm not a doctor yet. I'll be in May 2018, so
Yeah, you
I have some reserve. But I think my job is more to like just explain stuff. Like people are coming to me and they're like, what is this? And the doctor told me this, and I can explain in simple terms like what it is, but I would never try to make a diagnosis on the field. I just think it's not my place.
We have a doctor that comes on, Dr. Jordan Messels, orthopedic surgeon who breaks down injuries.
Big Chiefs
for us.
fan.
Yeah.
Huge Chiefs fan. I wonder with you, doing the medical side of your life and then also playing football, how do you reconcile the toll that that's taking on your body and your knees and your head and all of that? Because that's a big deal. Most players don't have that self-awareness. You do. How are you comfortable with that?
Well, I think it's just a question of like asking yourself, is it still worth it? Like, am I still passionate enough to play football? Because of course, like any sport, it's not only football, hockey, soccer, like even cheerleading, who has like more concussions per person who played a sport than any other sport. I mean, I think you just ask yourself, like, is it still worth it? Am I still enjoying that? And when you look at all the positive that come from football, like whether it's just your social skills, like playing the game, I mean, I just love it. I can wait for the 2017 season. So I think it's just your duty to ask yourself, do I still want to play? And do I understand the risk? And I think I have a good understanding on the risk. And my point of view is that it's still worth to play.
Nice.
Because I love it.
Now, we talked about balancing these two very difficult jobs. What advice do you give to anybody in any field that's trying to pursue two things at once?
I mean, for me, if you're passionate about what you're doing, you won't count the hour and you're just going to do it. And I love playing football. I love being in the ER. I love studying medical school. Like, and I just don't count the hour and I just do it. And that's something I'm really proud of, is to be able to continue doing those two passions at the same time at the highest level. And so many people told me when I was younger, like, you're going to have to choose. Like, you cannot do medicine and play in the NFL at the same time. You cannot, if you want to play football, you cannot do, like, medicine at the same time.
But you can.
But yeah, and that's what I want to prove. And for me, like, the past contract was huge, and of course I'm really happy. But what I'll be the proudest, if I can say that,
That's right.
is to step on the field in 2018 with the doctorate degree at the same time.
That's amazing. Don't count the hours.
We're
That's
gonna play
great
a little
advice.
game, aren't we?
Yeah, we are going to play a little game because you have such an amazing skill set. You do the football, you do the medicine. We're going to call this game Chiefs Residence, all right? We're going to ask you some quick questions. Peter and Nate are going to ask you football questions. Kay and I are going to ask medical questions. I'll start right off. Just answer as quickly and as concisely as you can, and we'll go around the table.
All right.
Larry, what is gastroenteritis?
Well, that's just a simple, like, stomach flu. You're
correct.
vomiting, you have fever, you get diarrhea.
That's
sometimes.
correct.
Exactly.
Guys,
All right.
football.
How do you defend against a stunt?
I mean, it's hard. I think it's just like being on the same leverage with your partner. So if you have a stunt with your tackle, you just want to make sure you're on the same leverage so you can switch it off instead of like slipping through.
What are 3 symptoms of appendicitis?
Well, typical like point of tenderness is the McBurney point, so in between the umbilicus and the iliac crest.
Oh my gosh.
And then you have fever.
English as a
associated
second
with it,
language.
And you have cramps, and you can have also like nausea, vomiting.
Doesn't
Okay.
sound good.
All right.
What is your job on the wide receiver screen?
It depends which side it's going. I mean, if it's going to my side, I'm the one like going out. If I'm the one if it's going to the right, I'm the one like rat killing, making sure nobody's going chasing the.
Doctor, what is the common name for lateral epicondylitis?
Oh, that's a famous tennis elbow.
Tennis elbow!
Exactly.
He knows it.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
last one. What do you think of the sluggo seam?
Sluggo seam, what is that?
It's a passing route that John Gruden always talks about. The
Well, I'm an
sluggo
lineman,
seam.
you see.
Come on, man.
What's the test used to test for ACL
Spider
injuries?
Y2 banana.
You can do the Lockman maneuver and the drawer test as well.
Okay, what is the Chiefs' play call for Hail Mary in French?
Ooh.
Oh, good.
Catch it, Tyreek.
Le dernier jeu du match.
Okay,
Le
all
dernier
right.
jeu du match.
I got
I
that.
get migraines. What do I do? Okay.
Hey, I might have a hangover tomorrow. What should I do?
Don't drink.
Well, that's
drink
not an
and
option.
drive.
How do you take your poutine? How do you like it when you order it?
Oh, plain. Like just the sauce, the cheese curd, and the fry.
That's
Don't-
it.
Yeah, don't put sausage or anything on it.
How about this
Don't get
guy?
Well, we are fascinated.
How about this guy?
We are children at this breakfast
What do you
table.
We're gonna like
the
hold
show.
them hostage
It's
to
the
keep them
best.
here.
Tell us more.
Right.
Incredible
Hey, well,
story.
listen, we appreciate you
good.
joining us,
Well,
man.
thank you so much for.
Pat Mahomes gets drafted. What
Yeah,
was your
really
reaction
quickly,
to
your
that?
thought on that? Drafting a quarterback first round.
I was pumped. I think it's going to give a lot of depth to our team, and I mean, I love the guy. I watch his highlight after he got drafted, and I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to meet him. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, listen, man, you're incredibly inspiring. You know, not just to the athletes, but to everybody sitting at home, man. Enjoy
you
yourself.
so much for
Good
this.
luck
So
with
cool,
that.
man.
Thank you
What
so much.
following your
you.
passion looks like right
That's
here
exactly
on Good
what it
Morning.
looks like.
Thank you.
Too slow.
I really like you. What's the weirdest way somebody pronounces your name ever?
Oh, and I got so many different types, like Laurent, Duvernay. I mean, I cannot blame nobody for that because I mean, it's a hard
Do you
name.
have a
to
nickname
pronounce.
on the team?
Yeah, because nobody's able to pronounce my name, I'm probably the one who has the largest amount of nickname. Whether it's like
What are
Moose,
they?
Canadian Brother, like Doc, Larry. I mean, I got.
Larry.